morning, everyone. Think we'll get started?
We're competing.
Tommy, are there a lot of people out there?
4 or 5.
All right, let's call the meeting to order. I think first order of business is, can we remember 2 deceased members, Sal Salamone and Wayne Philbeck? Let's have a moment of silence for them, please. Okay, thank you. Next order of business is we're going to vote on the minutes of the meeting of June 6th, which was the banquet. Can I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes as written.
Seconded.
Thank you, Tom. Who's second? Tom DeSantis. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? It's unanimous, Dennis. Dennis is on the computer. He's away on vacation. He's graciously taking notes. Okay. I want to thank everyone for coming. This room seems a little quieter. It's a little nicer almost to be up here.
Fight over basketball players.
Exactly. There's new staff at the Reggie Lewis, and we're going to meet Mike a little later on in the meeting. A few things we have to clean up. We have become incorporated, and our board has to be re-voted in, and it's just one new board member, and that is Peter Rittenberg. So, Dennis,
Yes,
I ask for a motion.
I'll make a motion to accept Peter Rittenberg as a new member of the board of directors of the MTFOA Incorporated.
Second.
Jeff Hennessy, second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Peter's in. Is he a lucky man? Okay, at this point, I'm going to have Mike come up, say a few words. Mike's going to talk about the parking passes that we normally have at this time, and we will figure something out down the road. But here's Mike. Here, there you go.
How's everybody doing? Good evening, good evening. Michael Turner, I'm the executive director here. I've been here for a year and 1 week, so it's good to make it through this first year. Just wanted to talk to you a little bit about some things that we got coming up down the pipe with some exciting stuff. Just a little bit, parking passes first. We have a new president that started July 1, and we're just running through all our policies through him to make sure they're improving. So we have a new parking plan and structure that we're implementing. So he's still approving that. We have new parking passes and stuff like that. So as soon as we get approval, we'll figure out a way, most likely, start to pass them out and relax enforcement that first week of the track season, so we can make sure everybody gets their passes and stuff like that. So, but keep in mind, there's only 39 spaces, so everybody's going to be a first come, first serve type deal. So, but we are building a relationship with the mosque and working on making sure we can use our space for overflow. So that is more to come. We are going to allow food in the field house. So that's something new. I'm a track person, an event person. I'm not going to go watch an event if I can't eat and watch the event. So we just asked. I know that we always have pizza in the field house. I mean, inside the track. We'll allow that, but no kids will be allowed to have food inside the track. We're going to limit this food to spectators in the stands, and we're going to be working with the coaches and teams to help us clean up. Because that's been the biggest thing that has been preventing us from keeping food in there. It's the cleanup. If we don't get help from everyone cleaning up, then that expense gets too high, and we probably have to cut it off. But we're not. I don't want to go down that route, so we're going to be a heavy push to have the coaches and teams clean up afterwards. And we are. You guys still walking now afterwards the facility? Right. Are you gonna walk the facility afterwards?
No.
Okay. So if you have time, We did repair 2 areas on the track. The main straight, the start area was really, really bad. So we repaired that start area. Means there's no numbers there now, but it is a new strip of surface there. And then a 4-foot section at the finish line. That finish line, right on the line, was a little hump, and it was bad. So we did repair a 4-foot section of that. The good news is the state commission did promise us $22 million to renovate the Reggie from FY26 to FY30. So that is great news. What we're going to start doing is the roof and HVAC for during FY26, and then we're working on the schedule. That alone is $10 million to replace the roof and HVAC. So that means we only have 12 left. The track is $3 million. The bleachers is $1 million. If you look at everything in the field house getting all new, it's $6 million. New nets, new hoops, and then redoing the basketball gym is another $1 million. We haven't even talked about doing the flooring. So like we have to figure out what exactly we're going to do. But with that, we know that money is coming, so we are starting some public-private fundraising. Next year is what? Come on. 30th. Next year's the 30th anniversary. So the Reggie will be 30 years old next year. So we are doing 5 events, and we're going to start a huge campaign for fundraising by the end of October with a special announcement that I'll make known here. We're doing 5 events next year. We're going to start off with a 5K in April. We're going to do a golf fundraiser in June. We're going to do a celebrity basketball game. We're still trying to figure out the date based on when the key celebrities that we are trying to get locked in now can show up. And we're going to do the Health and Wellness Forum again, and then we're going to do a night at the Reggie. It's not going to be your typical gala, but we're calling it the night at the Reggie right now. That's going to be October 4th. So 5 events. We're going to kick off with an announcement October 24th at 9:30. We're going to announce a 7-figure gift from a very prominent company or organization in Boston. So we're excited about that. That's going to help fund more programming through the Reggie for our members and for the community. So we're heading down the right path. Hopefully that door will open up more partnerships with other groups of organizations. So the goal is 5 years, this will be a completely new building. That's the goal. So we're looking forward to it. We're excited. And anything that we can do to help continue to make the track meets better, just let us know. You all run a great shop. It's how you just turn events and one after another. I'll be honest, I haven't seen anything like that until I came out here. So keep up the good work, but let us know how we can continue to help. We are going to have, one more thing, we are going to have, we're working on finalizing a deal with the Run House. They're going to open up a satellite shop in the equipment room. So it's about 90% gutted, and then they're going to come in the next week or so and retrofit it to be a satellite store. And they'll do all their heat pressing and stuff and selling shoes and stuff out of that. We're going to turn it into an intern program, so we'll have interns that will run it, learn how to run and manage the store, learn all the kinesiology aspects of running mechanics and stuff like that. The plan is to have a couple strips of Mondo in there. So it really, if everything comes to fruition like you're saying, it's going to be a really nice setup. It was just open up space to do more. And then we are going to start selling sponsorship. So we're going to, if you look out there, one of the signs are down. So the group that we're partnering with and making that announcement at the end of this month, their sign is going to go up there next to the scoreboard. So the plan is to have some more facility signage so we could create some revenue. So if you got any money, I'm going to pass around a collection plate.
Take it when you can get it.
But no, thank you. We appreciate you all. Anything we can do to make the experience better, just let us know, talk to us. We'll try to make it happen.
Thanks, Mike. Okay, the next, it's after the Olympics, the new Olympiad, everyone's got to be recertified. Steve's going to go into particulars when he comes up. And you have to do your safe sport. These are all requirements to be an official. This also ties in with the opportunity for development and growth as an official. To work in the Boston Marathon and other large event meets, you need to have some level of certification. The information will be on our website and the USATF website, but I ask each member to renew or apply for certification in November. Steve will mention when there'll be workshops to help you with certification, but I also ask that we strive to become proficient in the positions we request to work in. If you're a shot put official, umpire, or judge, work to be the best version of that position. If you would like to improve your skills, there are videos and forms on our website. USTF has all sorts of videos to look at that are informative and instructional. There are officials in our organization that can help you grow as well. Just let us know, we'll match you up. Reach out to them, you can reach out to me. Many of our college meets are ideal for training, as officials who work those meets are generally excellent and will be happy to mentor anyone in our association. Our association needs to be the gold medal standard that our clients want at their meets, and the challenge is for all of you to step up your game. That is our goal for this year. We want to be the officials everyone wants. We don't want Central Mass or Western Mass with our meets. We want our association at their best. So I just challenge you all to step up the game. Okay, next, Kat Ronan, some good news.
Hey y'all. So the good news is that at the June banquet, we voted to approve the incorporation of the organization, and that has been completed. We are now officially legal. We are not an association any longer. We have tax ID numbers so that we can do things like pay with a credit card, do the was it QR code for Zelle? Was that what it was? Is it? Yeah, there. Was it which?
Cheddar up.
Okay, so for the longest time, we were unable to change banks because our tax ID number was invalid, and that's now been fixed. So we are 100% legit, and all of the taxes, all of the forms, all of the legalese stuff that has been ignored for quite some time has now been fixed. So we're up and running. Second thing is the banquet. It's been in the same place for too many years. Last year we moved it to the North Shore. I'd like to get into a rotation whereby we move it North Shore, South Shore, Central, Metro West. I don't know the Metro West area as well as some of you do. If anybody has a suggestion of a place to hold somewhere in that 128 Route 9, 128 Mass Pike, Waltham, Watertown kind of area, please let me know, because I want to get into I don't want everybody to have to drive the same distance every year. I want it to move around so that we get different food, different environment, and everybody gets to be closer to home at least once every few years. All right? So anybody that's got suggestions, please let me know. And then lastly, the clinics. Kathleen hinted at it. We have severe deficiencies in a couple of different events, and we have an awful lot of you folks that are comfortable working high school meets, but for whatever the reason you're uncomfortable working college meets. I'm here to tell you, college meets are easier. They might be more pressure looking at you, but the kids know what they're doing. The coaches know what they're doing. You don't have to babysit and hold hands for kids. Come on out and learn something. If you ever want to do the bigger meets, okay? I was out at the trials last year. I go all over the country officiating meets because I've got the highest certification we can go. There's nothing difficult about it. It's just putting in the time and being interested in doing it. If you want to go officiate big meets, all you got to do is put in the time. It's a lot more fun than seeing the same thing. You'll get good at it. If you want to become, I know we're short on starters, we need pole vault officials, there's a number of different things. I need you guys to tell me what you think you need to learn to be better at. We're going to have clinics at the November meeting. Can anybody tell me what they don't know, what they would like to know? What event would you like to work that you don't know enough to be able to feel comfortable? Anybody here want to suggest a particular clinic that they'd like to learn more about? Everybody's sitting on their hands.
You mentioned pole vault, so.
We can do any, I'm sorry, what'd you say, high jump, is that what I heard? We can do the jumps. Jumps are not hard, we can do that. It's a little more difficult if we're not here because we don't have the pads to show up. But if there's anything else, I know we need starters, I know we need pole vault officials. What else do we need, Kathy? What other events are we real thin on? Mostly the field events. So those of you that have either done field events when you were in school, but really aren't sure about it anymore, please come on out. It's not that complicated, and you'll get good at it pretty quick. Okay, anybody that wants to become a pole vault official, please come see me, because there's not enough of me to go around. All right? Anybody have any questions about anything? Yes?
The MSTCA and the MIA will be adding more weight throws, so
That's going to make it that much more difficult because we've got more events that need to be fixed. Anybody else? All right. Please let me know about the, yes,
That meeting that you were talking about.
in November?
December.
Oh, December. Okay.
December.
So if we're back here in December?
St. John.
St. John's Prep.
The St. John's Prep meeting, I'm sorry, did I say November?
Yes,
Okay.
St.
In
John's Prep.
December? Yeah, we'll figure something out, but
It's the first Tuesday in December,
the 3rd, I think it is, or 2nd?
second, no, third, I think.
Yeah.
And third, right, Mark? And we'll put it in the blast and we'll have a game
Please,
plan.
because otherwise I'm just going to throw what I think is necessary, and I'd rather you guys tell me what you want rather than me tell you what you need. Yes?
What is the December date again? At St. John's Prep?
It's the first Tuesday, which I think
Third.
is the 3rd.
Third of December.
Yeah.
All right, anybody else? All right, thank you.
Okay, next, we have the treasurer's report. Here's our new treasurer, Bob Muldoon.
Hey, Bobby.
Donnie has been just terrific in helping Bob adjust to this new role. So here you go, Bob.
Good evening, everyone. I think the first order of business is to give a rousing round of applause to our outgoing director. When you're dealing with people's money, emotion gets involved really quickly. And Donnie did his best to help everyone get paid and paid quickly and paid well. And I don't know if it was part of your inheritance, but I think it probably feels like that because the long-timers know that Don's dad did it for a number of years, and when Dad stepped down, he looked right and he saw Don, and Don took it on. And we should also recognize Don's wife, Sandra, who was the woman behind the man and did a lot of work.
More than me.
Keeping our books clean, so we thank you very much, Don. For those that I haven't personally met, I'm Bob Muldoon, and I'm taking over as your treasurer, and hope to do at least half the job that Don has done. You've got a summary of our statement of the state of the world financially that we handed out. I didn't put the detail. This is the summary. As of today, we've got about $85,000 in the bank, and that does not include probably a good 20 to 30 checks I received in dues payments tonight. So that is all for the good. I want to highlight one item. Kathleen went on a very expensive vacation, apparently. You'll notice her president expenses were $21,000 plus, and last year it was only $5,000. So Kathy, we need to have about $14K of that was the incorporation fee. Okay, so that was the lawyer's fees, the filing fees to make us all the better, as Pat explained. So we are now an Inc., Massachusetts Track and Field Officials Association, Inc. And we had an EIN number, which is an association tax number, that wasn't valid, along with our liability protection. So we have a new EIN number. So I will be moving, we're with the Bank of America now, and we're going to be moving all our monies into a new account because the current account technically has the old EIN number against it. So I'm going to pick the right time to do that. We're still in the old account right now. When we move to that new account, a show of hands, how many people would appreciate a direct deposit instead of a check? Just curious. Looks like about, well, more than half, yeah, okay. I'm going to strive to do that, but I'll walk before I run into that. But hopefully maybe by the springtime, we'll see if we can get direct deposits going. Obviously, you know how it works if you do it with other bill paying. You will have to give your routing number and your account number when we sign up for that.
We'll get a form together for that one.
Yep, yep. And as Pat also mentioned, I did quickly, about 2 weeks ago, threw together an online payment system. A few folks have used it for the dues. A little late in the game, but if you don't want to write checks anymore. And like any credit card, the $3.96 fee is straight to the credit card company. We're not taking that fee, but it's $93.96 if you pay online. Thank you to all of you for paying dues. Dawn applauds all of you outside. We're closing in on about 200 members, which is 2/3 of our dues being paid by first meeting, which I think is a record almost.
Unheard of.
So, congratulations to you folks. Thank you. I got cross-country checks are all out through last weekend. I saw some of you tonight, and I'll mail the other ones that people have been asking. And questions from me? Great. Have a great year, great season. Thank you.
Okay, moving right along. Mark's going to come up and give his commissioner's report.
As I did last year, I did the assigning for cross-country, and have done it for this year. We had a very much abbreviated cross-country schedule this year because of a lot of construction going on at Franklin Park. So we had no meets that we were assigning there. I mean, the college meets that we had in the past, where it went to New Hampshire or they went to Attleboro. There were a couple of those in Attleboro that I assigned.
Mark,
yeah.
the sound cut out.
Thanks, Dennis.
I can't hear.
They can. I'll fill you in after if you didn't get it. I remember a couple of years ago when I was first president, being out there where we were going to be tonight with the basketball going on. The mic didn't work, so nobody could hear anything I was saying. Only Dennis can't hear me, I'm okay. Anyway, because of all that, we had a variety of different meets didn't happen. Our primary client has been the MSTCA meets, most of them in Rentham, and several of the leagues, the high school leagues, have asked them to ask us to provide officials, so we're doing that. Pretty much everything has been assigned. I think I still need one person for our twilight meet at Falmouth on the 13th. And a couple people who had signed up, and then for one reason or another, they can't make it. Those meets used to be Friday, Saturday. This year, because the holiday on Monday, it's Saturday, Sunday, and the Sunday was a problem for people, and it said so. So if you're interested, I need probably one for Sunday, and their twilight meets at Falmouth. Linda George has worked it before, she's doing it again, so if you have a question about what the meet's like, you can ask her. Cindy Burke is here too, she's working it, and did it last year. So that's pretty much it. The indoor availability sheet is out. I think it just came out earlier this week, maybe. Well, this week. It came out on the blast, which I think maybe was Tuesday, but whatever. That Rich puts that out. And I want to thank Zach Blonder, who really did a lot of work on putting together that Google Sheet doc. And my language on that kind of stuff is not good, so just forgive me. I'm a paper and pencil guy. So, but Zach did a lot to help us put that together. So I think it said on the blast, we'd like to have everybody fill that out by October 20th. If you're not sure, but you might be interested, sign up for it. And then if, after we do the assignments, gets to be, I can't do that, you get assigned to it, you just say, I can't do it. But we'll fill that in. It's better to know possibilities than not. So try to get that done in the next couple of weeks. And then after that, you know, we'll do like we did last year. We'll assign it and hit the go button, and everybody will get their assignments for the winter. So that's pretty much that. And on the Franklin Park situation, Steve Itonis is here, and he knows a lot more detail about what's gone on there, and it's been pretty much an ever-changing or a constantly changing scenario, and you have different pieces. Some stuff was scheduled to happen anyway without a new soccer stadium and renovation of White Stadium and all that. But Steve will fill you in on that when it's his turn. So this isn't my book.
Mark, I noticed on the indoor schedule, I think it's 3 meets at New Balance. It says vets only. What's that mean?
Beats me.
Somebody
It
produced that.
means they want seasoned officials. They were very insistent they had seasoned officials there.
Salt on his shoulder.
Had nothing to do about being a veteran, it has to do with seasoned. Mark, you took my paper.
Even laying around. I didn't take your calendar.
No, you didn't. So that's what that meant. They were insistent on having seasoned. Moving along, Dave, you have any announcements?
No real announcements. I had stuff out here for anybody that wanted anything. If you really want something tonight, please come out and see me now. Again, the biggest thing is this stuff is available at all the general meetings. If you're really in need of something, and I can meet up with you somewhere if we can get it to you. Or if we work the same meets,
It's always
you know, hey, if you're assigned somewhere, give me a jingle, hey, you work in this meet, that meet, I can get them to you that way as well. So, touch base with you. I'll have a bunch more, I don't really have a lot of jackets right now, but as we get closer to the spring, I'll have much more jackets and, you know, plenty of polos for the indoor season.
Great, thank you, Dave. Jeff Blonder isn't here this evening due to the holiday, but he's been a great help in recruiting and the new member testing. And I really want to thank Jeff for all his hard work. He's really done a nice job for us. And if there are any new members and they have any questions, feel free after the meeting to come find me or Pat, Mark, and I'll help you out.
Can we have some new members?
Sure.
Can you stand?
Do we have any new members here tonight for the first time? Would you like to stand up, guys? You want to introduce yourselves? So we'll know who you are.
And what event they want to do?
The other football, number.
My name is Gregory McBride. I'm a master's track athlete, and I have been officiating for a couple of years already, but I finally made it official.
Good. Welcome, Gregory.
I'm Karma Chuzignan, and I have been a cross-country track and field athlete and coaching at the high school level, and just a little bit of officiating.
Welcome.
Good.
Anyone else? I saw two down there. Did I see someone down there?
Don't be shy.
I'm David Duane, former athlete, also a track coach, and I have been running meets all along and directing meets for the school I work at, and I figured, well, why don't I try some of this?
Well, welcome. Anyone else?
My name is I feel like I'm in kindergarten. My name is Jackie. I've been working here for a while, so I did a lot of the weeks here, and I used to run as well.
Welcome, Jackie.
Thank you.
I remember you. Anyone else? Well, welcome. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask anyone. All right, Steve Vitonis.
Okay, I'll say a few words on two different subjects. First, Franklin Park. For those of you who aren't aware, there is a plan in place. It's more than a concept of a plan. That to replace the aging white stadium from the 40s with a new state-of-the-art women's pro soccer league stadium. It's a partnership with Boston Unity Soccer and the city. It's going to require first demolition of the old white stadium and then a rebuild. In that process, there are going to be parts of the cross-country course. In particular, for those who have been there, running entirely around the stadium won't be possible because the entrance and exit of construction vehicles is going to be near the home side and Boston Public Schools Athletics Department. This has been a long process. There have been lots of hearings. There have been lots of votes needed from different commissions and committees. There have been a lot of changes on the initial plan by the engineering company, Boston Unity. They've been very accommodating to changing the design of the stadium, changing the layout of the track, which is going to be a 8-lane facility within the stadium. Throws areas will be outside. It's going to be very much to the level of it will be able to hold probably any high school event. There's talk about, well, we should build it so it'll host international events. And usually those people don't respond when you say you've got to start with about $1 million of expenses and prize money. So the objective is to be able to hold state meets there, and it definitely will. Initially from July, and not in particular dates, but the announcements from Boston Parks Department about the stadium. And by the way, this White Stadium is in a parcel of land that the Parks Department does not own. It's owned by the George Robert White Foundation. So oftentimes news that comes out about hearings or public forums or the stadium itself, the Parks Department is not getting them any earlier than some of the general public or seeing them in the news. So from the middle of July, it was cross-country as usual, no cross-country at all using the traditional courses. The traditional course will close October 1st, October 15th, and as of Monday, when we at USA Track and Field were talking about an upcoming event, Parks learned that nothing will start until November. So this is, and there are a number of reasons for it, but what was a whole project that was supposed to start in March hasn't got a shovel in the ground yet. So likely next year, there will be modified courses, probably not for high-level colleges certainly won't be able to come back to it. High school leagues probably can. And we've modified the course a couple of different ways. John Finn from Catholic Memorial has been instrumental in creating a couple of new courses. But once the whole project is done, the last presentation they gave about the new design of the stadium, the new design of the track, there was a slide that showed the traditional cross-country course and said the integrity of the classic course, which has been around now for over 30 years, will be maintained. So that's very positive for cross-country folks. USA Track and Field officiating. Those of you who are officials, the certification will expire. USA Track and Field certification is for an Olympiad. So this year with an Olympics, the Olympiad ends December 31st, and then certification will be for up to a 4-year period, January 1st, 25 through December 31st, 28. Those who are certified will need to renew. If you are new this year in 24, you will be able to continue it without the recert process of rules reviews for 4 more years. The pieces that are involved are USA Track and Field membership, a program called Safe Sport, which is dealing with not only youth, but adults and athlete safety and not just first aid safety. It is implemented on all Olympic sports. It is now expanded in all international Olympic sports, and international federations require their coaches, officials, regular volunteers, and any individuals with regular contact with youth, meaning more than a casual pit raker or a bar replacer. And individuals who have been coaches or volunteers have initially balked at it and have all finished with saying it was a very worthwhile course. It's a 90-minute or so core, and then the next 3 years there are about 30-minute refreshers, and then the core is redone. So it's membership, Safe Sport, a background screening, and then a rules review. If it is done in writing or online, it's 75 questions. It's updated every 4 years with new rules and different emphasis. These can be presented in person or on a Zoom, and I'm arranging for both to happen for this group in general and for officials in particular who are working Boston Marathon. The BAA is requiring all officials that work their events, not just the marathon, but 5K, half marathon, 10K, and some of their other activities to be USATF certified. You can be a local or a high school official that's been an official for 40 years. You can have other credentials, but they feel when there's hundreds of thousands of dollars in prize money on the line, and you have officials out there reporting things or making calls, if an agent or an athlete questions what experience the official has, a national federation license or certification carries a lot more weight than, well, he's worked every shot put at the Reggie Lewis Center for the past 4 years, which that comment came up once. Not with the shot put, but another event. So it's a recognized credential internationally, because every nation has a federation process of recertification. It's also good anywhere in the country. So if you move, there are a number of parts of the country where there is only USATF certification. There aren't local groups within a state or multiples in a state. But Northern California, all the major events go through USATF. Oregon, same way. It's all USATF does the major assignments. If you're gonna work bigger events, the NCAA meets that coming here, NCAA Division I was announced to be coming back here in '28. Other higher level meets, that's gonna be a requirement. Again, because when you're working it, the National Federation license carries a lot of sway when you're dealing with international athletes and coaches and, again, agents. So the process for new people or new officials or renewing, it's not going to begin until probably close to December 1st. That is when the national organization, that we have our annual meeting, and they're still finalizing the rules review. Also, if you took it now, membership for the USA Track and Field doesn't begin until November 1st. So you'd be only getting a short period of value for that. I will create a document that will be available through a link on the newsletter that will explain the process for both renewing and for becoming a new official. And it's very easy. It's going to be a spoon-fed, step-by-step, what you need to do, how to follow it. And a number of the people that got recertified this year found it very simple to do. For those working the marathon, last year there were a number of officials who let things lapse, but with the BAA's emphasis on the certification, Peter Marr and I are going to work to get everybody taken care of before April. And Peter is going to set up a deadline that if you're going to work the marathon, you need all your certification done by maybe February 15th or March 1st, and not going to be chasing people down. So there'll be plenty of opportunities, information that'll be put out in easy to read form. And because I work full-time for the Federation and for the sport, I can be reached anytime with email or phone, and I respond immediately. Even if I've received your message, I'll get back to you the next day. Any questions on what I whipped through there? Holly?
You first didn't do what you did with the book, like the 100 questions in the book. Is there also going to be a book, or only the in-person Zoom?
No, if individuals want to complete it with either a paper form or online individually, they can do it. But the in-person ones will be available, because that way it's not going to have a written, you're not going to have to write the test. It's going to be, in a sense, a discussion group. And it'll be about 90 minutes. One of them may be here. We're going to try to have more than one around the area to make travel to them easy. And the leaders will be Bob Chidari from New Hampshire, who is the certification chair, and Lori Bemker from Rhode Island, our past certification chair, and she's has stepped up to offer some of these in-person ones as well. And if it's done by Zoom, there'll be a requirement that the camera will have to be on. So you can't hide behind a pleasant seascape, and we never, you turned it on and went out to mow the lawn. So
basically understand the schedule of when the group is going to be taking place. It's going to be December?
It's probably going to be December and January.
Okay.
And there's several of them, so it'll be able to accommodate different schedules, and they won't be on big meet days. And we'll avoid conflicts that are obvious in our sport. Tony?
The other thing also with BAA is Paralympics, so making sure that folks get certified as well in that, because more and more of their events, they're going to be offering more opportunities for Paralympic athletes to compete, so they would like folks to also get that as well.
Right. And there have been several para national and world records. That includes the amputee, wheelchair, which is the first thing you think of, visually impaired, hearing impaired. There are separate records in para for upper body challenges. There was a guy with an amputee at the shoulder, and he ran VA 5K, he ran like 14s, and that was a world best. But the para record forms are very specific The rules are tighter than open athletes. They have to be individuals have to be certified. If it was with amputees, you have to be measured. And they have a device, the VA has one. But they also have to be para-certified to sign off on the record forms. And Tony's been involved in that, and Danny's been involved in that.
Is the para certification based on the Olympiad as well?
I don't believe it is. It is right now because it's still fairly new. Meaning the last 10 years. I think you're in and then it's good, but they may be adding refresher courses on that.
They're adding more and more to the high school meets locally as well, so.
Right, we have here at Reggie in Brighton, we've got a fellow, Delmace, he is racing the mile, 8,000 and 2 miles with the able body. So he can't get off the line chair, but he's racing, and everybody in the City of Boston League, it's not a safety issue because they all understand how it works, and through the season, you know when to move out. He knows how to pass people. You're on the bank track, which is a challenge. And we've seen Bay State Conferences had a wheelchair racer a year ago, doing the 60. We actually had 2 local athletes who made the World Paralympics. One trained and trains here. Mita, she's a amputee, and then a UMass Lowell grad, qualified in the dash and the long jump. And at the trials, she set a U.S. record in her category for the long jump. So we'll see more of that, and this will be a group that we call on to fill those spots.
Steve, the MIA voted last week to score the para-athletes as part of the state meet going forward. Not separate divisions, they will be scored as part of your team. They'll compete separately but be scored. So there's going to be a need for knowledge.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, Steve.
And now I'd like to invite the various league commissioners to come up and discuss your needs and what your area covers and what your schedules are.
Brian Moody, the Jewel County Spring Track. Like to work some high school meets on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. See me after. All right, thanks.
Any other commissioner?
Hi, Brian Pandor, Captain Central League. We're all set for the indoor season here at Reggie, but for the spring season, we have meets at Williamston, Braintree, Bennington, Peabody, Bishop Feehan in Attleboro, and St. Mary's has an information, and that schedule should be out probably by the end of the month. So definitely, if you're interested, you can let me know, shoot me an email. I'll send you the schedule, or we'll post it on the website. Thanks.
Anyone else? All right, well, the league commissioners are also on the website, and there's an awful lot of information. Bob keeps that right up to date. So if you have any questions about who the commissioner is or what area you want to work at, just check in there and give them a call. And numbers are there, right, Bob? And their emails?
Yep.
Terrific.
Numbers and emails, PDF forms, winter and spring.
Great, thank you. That's all I have. Any questions?
Kathy, I'd be remiss if I didn't ask this question. You might know what I'm about to ask, but I'm wondering about the rule books.
The rule books will be out probably, they're not available yet. They'll probably be out by December.
What's the process of receiving those? We can, with 2025 coming up, we can go online and look at them all that way too. But it's very nice to just have one, and you know, to kind of piggyback on what you were saying before and picking up our game and really being on top of things. Having a rule book is a pretty important part of it.
It is, and I think a lot of the e-board members are going to have some. And Bob?
Yeah, so I, as part of the treasurer's duties, I'll be checking weekly. Given past history, they usually, I checked today actually, they're usually out late November, and there'll be both a new college rule book and a new high school rule book. On the high school federation site, they've already posted the new rules changes for 2025, if you're interested. There's about a page and a half of them on the screen there. So as soon as we can get them, that order will be in. We usually order about 200 high school and 120 college based on people's activities. They'll definitely be at the December meeting. I work Reggie 5 nights a week once the winter starts with dual meets. I'll have them with me at all times, and then we'll, like Kathy said, we'll sprinkle them around to make sure
Sprinkle around
that
so
all
we'll
the
get them.
e-board meeting, e-boards, and maybe even some of the referees, we'll give them a badge to.
Right, right.
We'll keep your eye on the website. I'll put it right on the homepage when I have them. And if you see me, you can.
And we'll try to keep everyone posted. The website is where you're gonna get a lot of information, and the blast. We'll also let you know through the blast what's going on.
I have one more thing, and it's kind of a suggestion that I've also made in the past. And this is, I'm a veteran to this association, and I kind of know this, kind of, sort of. But this is really important for younger people and new members. When we put out the assignment list, the Google Doc, the assignment list to check, it would be very, very helpful to everybody, and I've spoken with people about this, to put what time does the meet start? Not the schedule of events. What time does the meet start? Because a 10 a.m. start is a big difference from a 1 p.m. start, is a big difference from a 5 p.m. start. Some people might only be able to work the first half of the day and not the second half of the day. And some people are signing up for meets that all of a sudden you find out during that week, oh, that's a night meet, I can't work that. And that's just a hassle for Mark and everybody doing the commission job. So if we say, you know, Battle in Beantown, you know, or whatever, what time does that meet start? Just put the start time. I think that would be incredibly helpful for everyone.
I'm going to echo that point because all the meets I do during the week, whether it's TVL, Duke County, Bay State, they all have the start time. So
Right.
I agree.
So, and and that's the dual meets like during the week, absolutely. And I'm specifically talking about the big invitationals and stuff like that. Now, like, we're not necessarily putting aside 16 hours a day and, oh, whatever time it starts, I'll show up. You know, it's a lot of us are putting aside a good part of the day. Like if you go to a college meet and I know I'm doing the pole vault, there's a good chance I'm probably going to be there for 10 hours. You know, I get that. But there's a lot of new members that I think it would be very helpful to them, especially, to have that little bit of information.
Okay, that's noted, and if Hick has those times, because sometimes we are at their mercy.
Look, so a good point is, if we're contracting the meet and someone's coming forward, he needs to ask that question. Well, what time? What is this? Even if it's a morning or an afternoon or an evening, even if that word is used, at least we have some idea as to when, you know, it starts. Because no one wants to get to the point where say, uh-oh, I can't do that. Now I have to go through the whole process of letting Mark or whoever know I can't be there because I didn't know what time the meeting started. Now, the more versed you become in all this, you can go online. I'll go to, BC is hosting a meet, I'll go to the BC Athletics website and just look up the meet, you know,
Right,
and have the schedule. But when we are initially signing up, it would be incredibly helpful. And if we're contracting a meet, they know what time it starts, and we should too.
Well, I'll tell you, BC changed their meet time 3 times last year before they decided on the time, just to give you an example.
Well, that was one of them, but there was another one that was being said. They changed the schedule, but not the meet start time. And hey, if there's 1 or 2 meets that there's not a time there, sure. But I'm sure that for that giant list of meets, that most of them, we should have an idea of what time they start. And by we, I mean who's ever putting it together and contracting and whatnot.
Okay.
I mean, it's just helpful for everyone. I think we just want to try to help each other.
Thank you, Pat. Anyone else? Can I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn?
Second. All in favor? Hey, Dennis, thank you. Did you get everything?
I will meet you out back.
How's it going?